Welcome gamers to Last Call Gaming, the weekly gaming news show that keeps you up to date on all things video games. And on today's episode, guys, here's a look at what we're discussing. But as always, guys, there's all that and more. So if you want to hang out, grab yourself a beer and let's talk games. Welcome gamers to Last Call Gaming. We're on episode 32. My name is Craig Perales, and joining me is the happiest of birthdays, boys, Mandrew Montemayor.
Very young.
So guys, we are currently drinking a new beer from a new brewer, Tracy Allen. That is a friend of Dante Zaccardo. This is a co-worker of his.
Hometown brewer.
Yeah, he's a hometown hero of sorts, and it's a vanilla caramel porter at 5.5%. He is getting his feet off the ground, and he decided to give us a fresh batch. He knows we like to drink around here. Initial thoughts. Can you taste the vanilla? Can you taste the caramel? And is it a real beer porter? Real beer porter.
Well, let's drink on a real diamond porter.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't like it at first, but now that I'm kind of delving into it a little bit, I actually like it a lot more.
I actually really like it. It's
I
really
taste the
taste buds.
bathtub that it was brewed in.
Oh, just like Dad.
I don't know how he brews it, but no, it's actually really good.
Nice. Okay. Well, I wanted to give the shout out to him. He plans on giving us a few more here and there down the road.
I'll say my favorite thing is I really like these, even though it's just like a generic bottle cap, just the bright blue, because you don't ever see anything like that unless it fits with the design of the beer.
I'd say that's more of a midnight blue.
But it's got that with this nice tape label.
Yeah, that's how you know it's authentic. Dante, he's your buddy. Are we in good contacts with him to see more of these sprinkled out through future episodes?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice, because you're our inside guy now. Mm-hmm. You're the guy that's gonna do our plug for him. Mm-hmm. I need you there. So guys, let's move into. These guys are stalling on me. There's no witty comebacks, no nothing. So let's move right into it, guys. Since we have a birthday dinner to go to, we're keeping this episode a little tighter than normal. We're just gonna go back and forth and do some riffs. So my first riff, guys, is. There's some concept art that's kind of circling around it, showing what the Xbox Series X would look like when they do the like the video game skins, when they do the special editions. A lot of people were having some backlash with the initial look of it, the big black plain box. But when you see these things that come in, it's the Cyberpunk edition that comes in the all white, the Halo Infinite with that that flagship green, the Gears of War, which had kind of like the fuchsia red black design, and then the Hellblade 2 that had kind of the tribal look on it. I looked at those and I was just thinking, if they would have launched with any of those, yeah, I think everybody would have been. I don't think anybody would have had a problem with it.
No, I think that whatever the mock-up is, or if that's like designs that someone's planning on making for it, because I think it's like a big company that does skins already or something like that put that out. I thought it looked really, really cool. And I was telling him earlier, someone tweeted at Phil Spencer, like, what do you think of this mock-up? And they put his face, like, wrapped around the Xbox. He's like, oh, I think it's pretty ugly.
Which one of those four caught your eye? Because I thought the Cyberpunk one was probably the one that I would get if I had to pick out of those four.
I like the Halo one and the Hellblade one more.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I got a feeling Dante likes that Gears 5.
Nope.
Hating it?
Halo, baby.
So, guys, I was curious, what ones would you see? Do you think any of these will be one of the first four that get skinned? Do you think there's another game out there? Do you think there's another game out there that would take priority over any of those? Because I think Halo would have it locked if they did one.
I think Halo would have it locked. I think what I'm more interested in, what's kind of a question that's been on my mind a little bit, is what is this going to do for skins? Because consoles have, like the Xbox One X, I think it looks perfect, it looks good. I have it on my shelf. I don't ever really look at them anyways, but I have no need to really put a skin on it. And I don't care too much for like how the Xbox looks. I'm not against it, the Xbox Series X or whatever. So, I mean, if it's just a big black box, that's fine with me. But if they have really cool skins like that, especially since it is just a big block and it's not something designed to be sleek or whatever, then now I'm like, oh, cool. You know, maybe after I was looking at those, I was like, okay, you know, maybe I could see myself get. And I've never been a skin person. I'm personally not like a fan of that stuff. I have except for maybe like on a controller or something like that. But I've never been into that. That I could see something like this. Maybe that might reinvigorate the skin game for some companies or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That's an interesting point because I wasn't thinking about that. Because now you have something that is bigger that almost could be something to show off in a game. Because that's what I wasn't getting what people were mad about. It's a box that's sitting in your thing. No one's looking at that when you're playing the game. But if you have these things that look, really well designed, because now that I'm even thinking about it, that Gears one did pop pretty good. So if you even had that
I think
sitting
they
in
all
your
look
room,
good. Yeah, it's just your personal preference.
Did any of them lend themselves more to the horizontal or the vertical design?
I think it's anything that would not have a logo on it, or
Even with Gears 5, that's the skull cog.
I mean, turned on its side, it would still be fine, but the skull's still going to be sideways.
Yeah, so I'm sure we're going to, or it's popped up already, did all the design. So I'm curious what you guys think is the best looking, and again, what else do you think would make an appearance? Because I feel like an Assassin's Creed would be a cool one too.
I think the last console that I thought was really cool that came out with a custom design was the Xbox 360, the R2-D2 Star Wars one.
Oh, man.
That when you push it, it makes the Star Wars noise or whatever.
Yeah,
so that's the last console I was like, oh, damn, that's actually really cool as far as custom ones go. There's a lot of ugly ones out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of ones that are
I think,
real dog shit. But
I think the Xbox One's Final Fantasy one had some leather strap going across the top or some shit.
Perfect. So guys, let us know your thoughts. Let us know your comments. Let us know your ideas. I thought it was something to bring interest because this is, everyone's talking shit on it. Okay, so let's put a color on it. Does that change anyone's idea? I thought so.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's there for those who are if that's a big deal to you, why not?
Yeah. So what do you got?
My first riff that I'm going to go with is that Capcom, who's been on a huge roll lately, has actually renewed the trademark instead of letting it expire like they could have for Dino Crisis. Ooh. And so with all the remakes they've been doing, that's kind of a good sign, especially because a lot of those games were kind of similar back in the day. Dino Crisis was just a Resident Evil before it took its dramatic departure, but with dinosaurs. And I would personally love that because I fucking love Jurassic Park. It's always been one of my favorite games.
It is.
I never really got to play Dino Crisis. I've seen it, and it always looked like it'd be right up my alley. But they're also sending out invitations to their Capcom initiates and stuff like that to test out another unannounced game.
Okay.
So that would be something that would be perfect, especially because they could probably reuse a lot of since they have the technology with the RE2 or with that Resident Evil engine, make something like that. They already have the structure down, how the game's going to play. Just add dinosaurs versus whatever and change up some dynamics that I don't see why not. I think it'd be a perfect idea. And I don't think there's anything out there right now that it would oversaturate the market having something like that out.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that kind of even toes the line with it. And it's, again, Capcom is making these brilliant kind of Hail Mary plays of going, let's take this, redo it. No one's asking for it, but gamers don't know what they want until it's there. And now that 2 was successful, 3 Nemesis looks fantastic. That would be a great game to bring back into the fold, or at least keep the name, right? Because essentially right now all they're doing is holding the name, right? There's no talks of it yet, even though this unannounced game is rumored to be it. Is that what it was?
It just came about kind of the same time-ish. And I mean, that's the thing is, I don't think anyone is really clamoring for a Resident Evil 2 remake. People were back in the day when Resident Evil 1 remake came out. That's almost like a one-to-one, not a one-to-one, but kept the classic angles, didn't change the gameplay mechanics like they did with 2. But 2 just kind of came out of nowhere, and that game is still absolutely phenomenal.
And now everyone's raving about it. And I had to buy it, and I bought the Infinite Ammo, and it's going to be smash, hopefully by the end of December, so...
I actually went through and downloaded it and went through for the achievement that they added onto it. Just play through half the game, got it, and I was like, okay,
What's
cool.
What's the achievement they
added? They added one. It's called Chasing Jill. And when you go into this gun shop, it wasn't there before, but there's a note from Jill to the gun shop owner. So who knows? They might add more stuff to it. There's still 2 others I don't have because they added DLC, but still just added something else to the story. So I went through cool to get a little close. Now that I got it, I'm like, fuck. I think I'm gonna go back and get those other ones I didn't want to get just so I 100% it.
Might as well, right? Was there anything else you want to add on Capcom's?
No, either way, I think it's great. I'm excited for something like that.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds exciting stuff, and I'm glad that they're moving in this, picking up these older IPs and breathing life back into them. So the other thing I wanted to get into, guys, was you like it, you hate it. It's Kingdom Hearts.
Hate it.
The series. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I love number 1, love number 2. 3 was hit or miss with a lot of people, but the Kingdom Hearts 2020 graphic art project was something that I just saw that was announced, and essentially what it's doing is it's allowing artists, 3D modelers, graphic designers, and video editors to kind of develop some projects for them, submit them, and I don't know if it's essentially landing them jobs, but it's definitely going to boost your resume or your portfolio. This is something that's starting in January 1st, and from what I was reading, it's going to last all year. So it's got artists that are creating actual individual art, 3D modelers that are doing landscape design, graphic designers that are taking the art, making them into character cards, and video editors that are kind of combining all of it. And one of the things they said is if you don't fall in any one of those fields, but you still want to be a part of it, they have room for like directors that are being able to keep certain projects online. Now, there's a lot more to read into it. I'm paraphrasing a lot because we don't have a ton of time to dive into it. But if you are someone like that and you watch Last Call Gaming and you are someone that kind of plays in any of those fields, I would say check it out because it's a cool concept to get into something like that. That might not be the game you wanted to start with, but I like
if it's a foot in the door, yeah.
Yeah, I like things like this, and I'm sure there's a ton more that I never get to hear about, but I heard about this one. I thought it was a pretty cool idea, and I wish we saw more stuff like this.
I always like when they do things like reach out to the community, or like Fortnite when they did like, you know how they have all the dances and stuff like that they do? They reached out to the community to come up with a dance, and they actually ended up choosing 2 because they chose one, but the community thought this other like kids where he does like the weird like whatever dance, and they went back and put his into the game too. So it's always cool to see little things like that. Now, as far as like compensation or something like that goes, I can't speak to that. I don't know if those people get anything or if it's just enough for them to be like, hey, you know, I'm just proud to have my stuff in the game. So that's a different kind of topic other than... Either way, I'd be stoked if I made something into it, and it was into it. I'd be happy with that.
And completely open to the public. So if you, even if you're not good at it or you were struggling and you just want to see what other people are doing in those creative fields, it's going on all year, and it starts on January 1st, and it's going on, don't they?
And also, Fortnite had a fan-made map for a little bit as well.
Oh, nice, did it?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, perfect. So if you're interested in something like that, guys, if I remember, I'll put the link in the description. You guys check it out and get your toes wet.
My last one that I have is actually for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which just put out some new maps as well too, which I'm still loving. Is actually sold through more than 1 billion copies already. They already have over 500 million hours played, over 300 million matches played, and it's the most played Call of Duty ever within the first 50 days of its release onto the market.
What record can't they break?
And so this game is just absolutely a juggernaut. It's absolutely killing it. I read something on there too, and I don't know if it's for sure thing because it would have to compete with something else like Fortnite or whatever, that it's already the most played multiplayer game of this generation, and it's coming out at the tail end of a generation. So there's so many other games that are still going on, like Battlefield, that how many hours of people put in that, and this is already beating it. Yeah. And I think it's a well-deserved game because this game truly brought Call of Duty back for me, whereas before, like the last couple iterations, I've not been into. I am playing this every single day. I even got back into like clan battles with my cousin and stuff like that. Nice. We created our clan. We're matching times and trying to get that stuff going as well too.
That's what it's all about. Reminds me of high school.
I'm going through and not just playing like the online, just whatever to fuck around. I'm actually getting a lot of the time. I spend a lot of the 2v2 stuff because I really feel like
that's good fun.
I feel like that's where it's at. That's the most competitive. That's high competitive. I think that that's something too that could be broadcast because it's not. I think it's always different when you're watching like a full, like I never liked watching Battlefield when they do their big battle cast and stuff because it's like 32 versus 32 or 20 versus 20. There's too many players.
2 hours later.
2v2 where people are on the same ground, same level, have the same everything, and it just comes down to skill. Like I'll never be as good as FaZe or anything like that, but that's a lot more interesting to me to see 2 people that are on equal levels competing, and it's just different skill versus skill versus this guy's using this gun and this one has a different loadout to counteract that loadout, or you know, whatever.
For those who don't know, it's based on a random gun that everyone gets and a map, right?
Yeah, random 2 guns, or maybe not even a second gun, just your fist, a map, and then you get maybe a grenade, or it's completely entirely random.
Nobody outbalances the other person because everyone is completely the same thing.
Yeah, everyone has the same thing, and there's no like perks or anything crazy like that involved in it. And so I absolutely love that. Gunfight has been my absolute favorite game mode, and I can't picture this franchise going forward without that in like every iteration. Kind of like how they started doing zombies and every little thing. Right. This is now something that I think would have to be in every single iteration. I don't know how well it does to speak, but I never have problems finding matches, and I always see a lot of buzz about it, and I absolutely love it.
Is this taking more of your time than PUBG? Is it? Because I know PUBG is normally your
I stopped
online...
playing PUBG.
Have you?
Yeah.
And Call of Duty
since Call of Duty came out, I've played PUBG.
So they got one back into the fold.
Yeah, they
now we gotta start jumping on again.
We got 2 back in the fold. I play.
Are you?
Yeah. They got me hooked. I'm every night.
Every night?
Every night.
Nice.
Unless I'm gone all night and I don't get home till 1, I gotta work the next day. I always get on it.
And again, everything they're doing is free, right? All the
map
uploads,
all the DLC,
all
the maps and stuff like that
they've got it. Grab it.
They just added 2 more the other day. They added Vacant Shipment, Fan Classics, and I had a blast on that.
Nice. I love that. I love that. I love that we're finally in a place where games like that are being completely open to everybody, and it's like I said, it reminds me of high school. It reminds me of those days when I just remember playing nonstop, night after night. So I'm glad you're having a blast with it. But Andrew, before we get into some questions, we just went to the Video Game Awards, and there were some interesting statistics that came out. The record, so what, if I'm remembering it right,
Oh, yeah,
Andrew,
I've seen that.
did they break the record for having a 45 million stream, which is a 73% increase from last year, right?
Right. So Geoff Keighley put out a tweet saying that I think it's their record high. I don't know if it's higher than like E3, and it sounds like
Which
it's higher
broke
than
the
E3.
shit out of
Yeah.
it.
So 45 million live streams. So that's 45 million individual people streaming the VGAs, which is great. And it's a 73% increase from last year's VGAs.
Which is insane when you think about how low E3's dipping. This is still dramatically increasing. So we're almost kind of seeing the change of who's who when it comes to, because I liked the show, not just because I was there, of this versus E3, because it was nonstop, just world premiere, and good shit. There was no lame filler, and then we got to see some good awards. So, I mean, Geoff Keighley, man.
I mean, there was that filler, but yeah, I mean, it's also
It was good filler. There was nothing that I ever was just like, oh my god, I got to deal with this.
Yeah,
unless you didn't like the musical acts.
Yeah, I wasn't bored through that show at all. So but physically being there.
Yeah, so it is cool to see something like this grow in a time where other shows are declining. That this grew so much. I mean, like a 19%, a 25%, a 50% would have been interesting. 73?
I think
geez Louise.
The fact that speaks to it is that they showed off a new Xbox console, which you probably wouldn't have seen there before. You would see that at an individual event or an E3 or something like that, or some sort of presser. That, and then they showed off that Godfall with the first time PlayStation 5. They could have showed that anywhere else, and the fact that they're showing that there just shows how important the show is.
Yeah, it grew in its status. So, Andrew, I'm done with my riffs. Was there anything left on your plate?
Nope, I don't have anything else for today.
So we do have some questions from the audience. So let us get into video game questions of the week. All right. So the first one comes from Brian Serafino, and he asks, where do you guys get your clothing? Love the gear you sport with each episode. You guys are styling with those coats. And he's referring to the last episode. I had the
VGAs?
Plasmins. Was it that one?
Oh, no, never mind. Not the VGA. Yeah, your Plasmids one, and I don't remember what I was wearing last week.
Those coats. So where do you get your gear? Where do you generally get your... And I'm assuming he's talking about like gaming gear, right? So where do you go?
So all my clothing,
You go to Redbubble, huh?
I do a lot of Redbubble. Some of it's at GameStop. Hot Topics actually got a really good choice, and who else actually has some really good shit is Spencer's too.
Nice. I do almost all of my shit at TeePublic, and
TeePublic's great.
And I usually only do it when there's a sale. Like most of the time when they're going, it's like $20, but they'll do 3 sales a month, and it drops everything down to like $13. So
Redbubble does the same. It's almost the same as like TeePublic. I would say TeePublic, you might have some better chances for like how your clothes comes out, because I think there's just a little bit high quality. But I think with Redbubble, there's more variety than what I found when I go to look through TeePublic.
I do got to take this short time to give us a plug. If you guys, we've had a lot of people ask us, how do we get a Last Call Gaming shirt? And once upon a time, it was me driving to a different city, getting it made, and then shipping it out. So without all that hassle gone, guys, and I'll throw the link definitely in the description and pictures right now. If you guys are looking to get the Last Call all black shirt or the one with the game controller, that is now on TeePublic, and I'll put the links in there. You guys can look at them. You guys can snag them.
You can get a sweater too.
But the cool thing is that I liked about TeePublic is it's not just shirts. You can put the same logo on a hoodie, a coffee mug, a sticker, a computer bag, what's the one I'm looking for? Baseball shirt. So check it out, guys. We don't make a ton of money on it, so it's not like we're plugging it to get paid. It's just
if you want to wear it to rep us,
a lot of people keep asking. That's where you're going to get it. It's already sold fairly decently, I would say, in the first couple of weeks. If you guys are interested in that, Brian Serafino.
Well, that's news to me. I haven't received a cut.
We just barely launched it, and I am looking at more things like a Redbubble or more things that we can upload the design on. We just got this thing off the ground like 5 days ago.
Nichols is money's too.
All I found was all this old junk. So, Brian Serafino, thank you for the question, man. Let us know where you get your stuff from. Andrew kind of hits more of the stores and the Redbubble. TeePublic's where I've kind of been leaning on mine, so I am curious.
If there's anything out there,
there's other things in the wild,
yeah, for sure.
So the next one comes from a fan favorite, Christian Vargas, and he's got a 2-part question. First question is, have you ever wanted to live in a world from a game? And if so, which one and why? I gotta say, I think everybody that grew up at a certain age would pick Pokemon. I think everybody
Yeah.
at one point in time wants to go battle, go train, go become a gym leader if you want, go beat the Elite Four. That world just lends its Pokemon Go. How many people were just ready to just stand in the middle of a street and catch it? I think that lends itself. That's almost like a default.
Yeah, that's
answer
a
to me.
definitive answer, and that would be a blanket statement
But
for
does
sure.
anything stand out though?
Anywhere else that I want to live?
No. Okay. Let me ask you this, because this is where me and Dante were having a conversation. Does it lend itself to I just live in the world as me, or do I get to live in this world as whatever bonus or magic feature might be accepted in that world? Do I have access to it? Like, for example, if you're living in Zelda's world, are you able to go get all the items, or are you just some guy living in a town?
Just an NPC.
Yeah. So because if that's the case, then I don't know the appeal of not living in a world that has plumbing and modern day technology.
Yeah, I can't really think of any world from a video game other than Pokemon. That's always my default go-to. But I also play like a lot of horror games and tragic games and post-apocalyptic games. That's not something that I'm like, oh, I want to live in Resident Evil.
So you don't want to be a roller coaster tycoon.
Yeah, no. If I had another answer for something that I do think about something like that, because I wouldn't even want to live in like a superheroes world like DC or Marvel or anything like that, because there's way too much intergalactic shit. There's always some threat. Like
when toy yours,
I'm sure the insurance is through the roof. I'd actually, if I had to choose another world to live in, and I'm gonna cheat and not be a game, but there is games for it, I would say Avatar, because that would be like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
A society that lends itself to where even if you're not the Avatar going on this adventure, I could live in this town and I'm still an Earthbender.
Yeah, and I would have to be a bender. Yeah. That would be my guy. I would hate to be one of those people who can't naturally bend. Dude, actually, after I was watching it last night, I think Earth would be the most OP, because like I was watching, because fire's distance, water's distance, air's distance. Earth, the one I was watching is when
grab their feet.
The one where that general dude's trying to get Aang to go into the Avatar state, and Katara, she shoots her water, and he just makes
season 2.
Yeah, he just makes it mud and then traps her into the earth with quicksand and just pulls her under. If you're fire, water, air, you can't do anything once you're fucking trapped. You can't melt your shit beneath you. Like, there's nothing you can do.
I don't hope it's not a cheat, because that is a game. So if you better
bloodbending, that's all I gotta say.
That's way too.
But that's water.
What was the other game we were talking about that we were saying that the people actually got something out of it? What were we talking about?
You brought up Cyberpunk.
Oh, Cyberpunk. That was it. It's like out, so I can't tell how it is. But if
I can imagine.
But if I had to live in a world where I'm not the main antagonist and I'm not gonna go save the world, and I lived in a world where cybernetics are a thing, I'll take that.
It would have to be like I don't know though, but that's the thing is like, are you all cybernetic? And because we don't know what Cyberpunk's like yet.
Exactly.
To me, that world could just as be like fucking Judge Dredd, where you just live in a shithole, but you're all cybernetic.
Oh yeah, but if I could take some cybernetic upgrades, I'm in. Because the other question was like, do we live in a Star Wars game? And if we do, what time? Like, because Jedi would be cool to a point until everyone gets wiped out. Because if you're not Obi-Wan and you're not Yoda and you're not, the handful of other 10 people that survived, Jedi only made it so far.
Yeah, either that or you're just some pod racer.
Well, what were we saying earlier? Can you live in Forza and just be a professional racer? Or can you go to Madden and just be a professional football player?
Or skate and just be a skater.
There you go. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think Cyberpunk sounded fun, even though we don't know the context exactly of it.
I'll take Avatar.
And Avatar was actually a really good one, because it is a game, so if you are in it, you potentially have the potential to be a bender. So
I'll take that.
His other question, which is a little more direct in terms of the gaming aspect, is what's more important in a video game? Action / gameplay or story? You want to tee off, or do you want me to tee off?
I will go first.
It's like you're gaining an inch on me over here. There we go.
I would say
now I'm back.
I would say gameplay, because I think a story could still be kind of bad, like Kingdom Hearts was, and I still played it because the gameplay was fun. Or like Division 2, I have no clue what the fuck's going on, and I kind of don't really care for the story. I appreciate a really, really good story, but if the gameplay is fucking terrible and the story is bad, I'm never going to finish it. Whereas as long as the gameplay is fun, like I said, The Division, I'm actually playing that right now with Christian. We have no clue what the story's about, besides like the general, like we're the good guys, they're the bad guys, the virus hit, whatever, but the gameplay is fun. The loot mechanics, I love it, and everything like that I'm having a blast playing it. That's what's keeping me going, not the story. Whereas if the gameplay fucking sucked, but the story was phenomenal, I don't think I would go through and play it.
I see. I lean a little more towards the other way with the story, but the big factor I would say that may split my decision is time. Because if you're playing a 60-hour game that has a bad story but good gameplay, then the gameplay saves it. But if you're playing a 60-hour game that has a bad story, that's like, then why am I even invested? So, but I guess more to my point is like Valiant Hearts. If that's the game I'm remembering. The one where the guys in the army and we all played World War I. Like, there's nothing hard about that game. The gameplay didn't sell it. That story is, I'm like, oh my god, I got to finish this. There's nothing crazy about the gameplay. But again, it's a short game. You know, if I can get my short burst of simple mechanic games in a great game, then I usually choose the story. But again, I think my main thing is on time. If it's under a 10-hour game, story. If it's more than 10 hours, then the gameplay is the only thing keeping me locked.
It can go the other way, because, like, for example, everyone knows Resident Evil is my top franchise. I went through to play, like, Resident Evil Revelations 1, which was a game, a Nintendo DS game, and then they ported that to Xbox. And I'm playing it, and of course I love Resident Evil. The gameplay's good, the story's good, but then it gets to a point where I'm fucking backtracking too much, and I can't tell where the fuck I'm going with this map on the ship. That it really broke down to the map mechanic and where the fuck I'm going.
Some gameplay
that I'm just like, dude, I'm fucking done with this game. Like, I couldn't tell where I was going, how I'm supposed to get there. I didn't want to look up some guide, like, at least in Resident Evil 2 and, like, all the other ones. Like, I could tell what the fuck I'm doing, where I'm going. Like, I don't need hints or anything. I don't need anyone to hold my hand. But I felt like that one was so fucking obtuse that I was like, this is fucking stupid. I'm done.
Would a game like Ori and the Blind Forest, that's smaller on scale in terms of what you got to go discover, where would you lean that more to? Is that a better gameplay, or is that a better story?
I would say it's like...
or is that a comfortable mix of both? Because the question is very divided.
Yeah,
and, we can make arguments for both. I think in the long run, I prefer a good story. I can deal with some jank, because we've all dealt with janky games that you finish because you like, especially if you're dealing with like 8-bit or 16-bit era games like Kung Fu. Not great mechanics, but like fun little story. But I mean, where would you put a game like that? Because I think that's right in the middle.
I'd put it in the middle, but
especially with number 2 just coming out.
More to another point, just to prove my point perfectly, PUBG has no story. They added story elements to it now, and I don't give a fuck. I just play it for the online element. That game, that addictive gameplay, is what kept me coming back. I don't need the story.
Well said, yeah. It's almost a self-defining answer that the best games that are selling, like Fortnite, it's the biggest game ever. There's no story. At least no story that anyone plays. It's the gameplay.
People don't play for the story.
Minecraft, it's the gameplay. It's nobody plays the story. They build their world. So I guess I
think it really just depends.
I took that one on the chin, huh?
Some people can slide by with both, but
yeah, I don't know.
That's a good question.
I am curious what his is though, because that is a really, really good question. But I do think at the heart of every game,
the difference is between an online player and a story.
Right. When you're a console player, I enjoy a good story, and
I take back what I said, and I will say that I pushed through. Kingdom Hearts 3, bad gameplay, bad story, pushed all the way through, just glad to see it to the end.
Because it was all the repeat mechanics at that point. So, excellent question, Christian Vargas. Let us know your answer. And our final question, guys, because we are getting tight on time, is... Post Malone, Connor, bro! And he asked... he had a bigger question, so I kind of just knocked it down. The holidays are definitely a time to get to the backlog. And... let's see. I don't know about you guys, but give me your top 3. Essentially, he wants to finish his top 3 games in his backlog. I butchered that question. Andrew, since there's no big games coming out for Christmas, what 3 games are you looking forward to tackle by the end of December? Sorry, Connor. I'm paraphrasing your question, and I think it was longer than what you actually asked.
Division 2, I'm actually going through and cruising. I've been playing that every night. Probably Bloodstained, and then...
How far are you in Bloodstained? Did you get any further since the last
one?
Okay, but it's still a game that you...
Yeah, it's a game that I know that I want to play. And then... I don't know if I have like a third one. I'm really only looking at those 2 right now, and that's kind of really... If I had to put backlog for a reason, even though I've already beaten Resident Evil 2, I really want to get those 2 achievements now, so I guess I could add that to the list.
I looked at it, and again, there's tons on the backlog that are just too big to bite off right now. Because every day slips by. It's the 19th. Tomorrow's the 20th. We've got, 11 days until...
Actually, I'll take Hellblade as my third, because I've been really wanting to.
Because I wrote mine down because I had to think about it. Modern Warfare is a definite.
Gotta finish that.
Yeah, that one's...
Should have been done already.
I know. Oh, dude, ever since I beat those 3 games and since we went to the Game Awards, I don't... Be honest with you, I haven't played anything. I've just been kind of like... Okay, let me just relax for a minute. I've been catching up on The Mandalorian. I've been catching up on The Toys That Made Us. I've just been catching up on a lot of film and a lot of TV shows that I haven't been on. But Modern Warfare is definite. Life is Strange 2 is another big one. I think the whole thing is now on Game Pass. So because I hate waiting for chapters, even though I've done it. Life is Strange 2 is what I want to do. And Pokemon Sword and Shield is a game. Started, I stopped just to beat Link's Awakening. So I could understand it for the categories when we saw it at the game show. But again, look at all 3 of those. I don't think any of those are, maybe besides maybe Pokemon, are over 20 hours. 15 hours. So with this short of time, I'm not ready to bite off a big piece. January will be my next big AAA 60-hour game.
I think the next big game is going to be
Cyberpunk?
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, that's in February. January?
I think Dragon Ball Z is in January, yeah.
Is it? Oh, yeah, that's right around the corner. So, Connor, though, I am interested in what you've got to do for your 3. Because that's the thing. If this question was in December 2nd, my answers might be a little different.
Yeah.
But since we've only got a week and a half or so to try to beat 3 games, then
mine are all shorter.
Yeah, because I say I took out a lot. I took out Control and Darksiders and all that earlier in the month. So
even if you give me until Dragon Ball Z comes out, I don't think my answers would change. I'm just looking for short experiences right now.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for anything crazy huge.
yeah, something I can play here in my bedroom, wherever I gotta go. But guys, so we're ready to leave. Oh wait, got one more thing we gotta do. So if you've been watching this, guys, and you've been watching at least the last 6 episodes, you know we are giving away a PlayStation 4, a Quattro. So I did a little video. I'm probably putting it up now of how we pick it, guys, because we never want to make it sound like it's unfair. It basically is a thing that Andrew found. We grabbed the comment, we put a keyword in it for the hashtag PS4. We enter it in, it pops up the thing. That is who won that episode.
Actually, I want to give a shout out because I actually didn't find it randomly. Comic Tom 101. I don't know if any of you guys out there watch that.
I didn't know you got it from Comic Tom.
Yeah, actually,
nice.
he did a video one day showing, hey, this is how we choose our people or whatever for anyone asking. I don't know if it's the exact same one, but it's something almost similar.
He's a big leaguer doing it. So,
yeah, so either way, that's how he chose his. So I don't want to take the credit for that. That's exactly where I got it from. I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. It's a great idea. We should do that.
You want to grab the camera so we can show that everything is legit. So, guys, I'm going to rattle off who is in it, and we'll say what episode they got it from. So, we've got Jornson Long. He won it from episode 27. We got Tashima Explode from episode 28. We've got Austin Emmy, or M. How would you pronounce that?
I don't know.
Episode 29. Our Thanksgiving episode filler is from Inferno Ghost. Our episode 30 is Big Dick Caught Him Alone. And episode 31 is Raven. So, I'm taking all these, gonna fold them, and we're gonna put them in the hat. And then, Andrew, would you like to draw? Would you like me to draw? Would you like Dante to draw?
Who drew the last one?
Dude, I completely forget. But I'll hold the... Oh, no. I did because you were filming.
Oh, okay.
So you want to switch the camera and then
Sure,
we'll get you?
why not?
All right. All right. So we're switching it. Make sure he's not looking.
Put your hand in there and just mix it around so I can't see
shuffle it. Oh, look, there's DT. I guess he did make it on camera.
Really snuck his way in this time, huh?
All right.
Sorry, go pack, go.
Fuck.
All right.
Go home.
So we've got our official winner, and it is...
Austin Emmy.
Austin
M.
Emmy!
Whatever
Bro! So you have won the PlayStation 4. If you're watching this episode, reach out to us on our email, LastCallGaming@gmail.com. Write a comment. I'll do what I can to reach out to you. Hopefully we hear from you soon because we'd like to get it to you before Christmas in case it's for you or from a family member or something like that. So, guys, that is our PlayStation 4 episode. And again, when you win it, send us a cool picture. We like to show off, who wins, who gets them. Make sure that this is fair. But, guys, find us on all your social medias. That's on your Facebooks. That's on your podcast. That's on your Instagrams. Make sure that you like, you follow, you subscribe. Andrew, anything else you want to add?
Hit the notification button. Helps. Every penny counts. Other than that, thank you guys, though, for absolutely everything. I mean, it's been a pretty crazy year so far.
Yeah, this is the last giveaway of the year, guys. It's probably breaking a lot of hearts that it wasn't your name that got called for the PS4, but bet that we are going to give away
we're already planning stuff for next year.
So, I mean, I think out of the small channel that we are, we've already given a healthy dose of things, and every winner we've talked to has been satisfied. You get it on time. You enjoy it. I don't think we'll probably do our next one till maybe early January, mid-January, just so we can kind of figure some things out.
Take a breather on it, yeah. Decide what we're going to give away.
Yeah, because we got a lot of new projects coming, guys. We got a lot of new ideas that are going to happening. We do have our last episode that'll be next week on time as promised. On time as promised. So that shouldn't be any changes, guys. If anything does happen, we will definitely let you know. So, guys, until next time, my name is Craig Perales. That is Mandrew Montemayor. That is Dante Zaccardo. Cheers.
Porters are usually like on the coffeeier side.
Hey, now I'm fucking drinking a real beer, porter.
We drink out of a real bottle, Porter.
Come on, Porter. I need my first kick,
Wait a
Porter.
sec. Go.
Ow, I think I pulled something.
Oh, you know what I really thought? I thought you were gonna start going with the Gremlin song. That.
Oh, I wish. You know, I'm not clever enough to remember a Gremlin song.
Yeah, I don't know why you're so terrible at soundtracks.
I don't know, man, because I love the music. But
Yeah,
it's like,
These here.
you can't see him.
Yeah, you can. I figure that's something that
can
is
see,
always
like,
so iconic in music
here.
that I figured that would be something that always sticks out to like someone like you, especially who likes.
Even after doing like the video game Power Hours, like I still have sometimes trouble remembering like when like it's Legend of Zelda
I
coming on.
don't
I'm like I
get
should
it
know this one
because
or Mega Man.
You turn on 2 seconds of like the Great Malenko and you're there, but you can't remember fucking the N64 Ocarina of Time, a game you
Yeah.
played way more than
I'm
that.
just like, who did that one?
I tell you,
Who
like,
did this song?
I
Linkin
used
Park.
to watch that Beats to Jam show, and I could smash anybody at it. But I couldn't tell you like the fucking song that's at the end of Breakfast Club, which I know is iconic and very famous. I don't remember it.
In the, I don't know.
Don't
you
forget
about me.
Oh,
Don't you? Okay, see, I was gonna say I've only seen that movie a few times. So I don't really like it. I try to keep it that.
Yeah,
way.
alright. We're amongst friends.
I haven't seen that other movie you guys watch every year. Whatever one.
Love Actually?
Yeah, I've never
Who
seen
else
it.
said that they never seen it? I was talking to George because I went to go see him today.
The only person
And
I
he's
know
like, he
from
never saw
that
it.
is the dude with the Andrew Lincoln with the cue cards, but I only know
more.
him from The Walking
From
Dead.
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
He's Rick, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say he looks young. I forgot how that's him. He's such a young buck.
You know Colin Firth.
You think
Yeah,
you
you know
know so
Colin
good
Firth?
out there?
You know
You know-
Keira
Send us a
Knightley?
postcard.
You know
Let's see how
Colin
far
Firth
you
from
get.
The Kingsman? That'd be a movie you would recognize him from.
Never seen it.
Oh god.
Add it to the list. This guy's got a growing list of movies he just has not seen.
You disappoint me, and it's your birthday.
Oh no, it'll
Try
get even.
not to be mad.
It'll get worse. I haven't seen Inception. I haven't watched.
I honestly, Inception wasn't like the movie that blew me a fucking
I
way.
haven't watched The Wolf of Wall Street.
I hate you.
And on that note, we cue the music.
That's the big. That's the big one everyone's
Hey
got.
guys, that's a rock. He needs to go watch.
Oh, guys. Yeah, he's got a real good birthday ahead of him. It's nothing but movie watching.
I tell you, I beat like 1,000 games, but you can't watch fucking Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, dude, I'll go to put it on, but then I'm like, I guess King of the Hill sounds fun right now.
But he's seen Gremlins 32 times.
Yeah, I'm sure. What was
Magpie?
that one? Friends. How many times you seen Friends?
Oh, I don't like Friends.
Not
Christina
enough.
does. I think
No, not Friends. What was it that you used to watch when you lived over here, like religiously? It was before you started Game of Thrones.
When he had a
Spartacus?
show? Ooh.
Spartacus? Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah, I was watching Spartacus like every
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
day.
Spartacus, good shit.
But yeah, but I mean, fuck. Like, take like 3 of those episodes is Wolf of Wall Street. You're done.
You ready?